Welcome back to another all-out NRL fantasy buy, hold, sell podcast, Mick. Round 22 edition. And no, this is not the Olympics buy, hold, sell. This is the NRL fantasy buy, hold, sell. Mick, how are we, mate?
I'm good, thanks, Dor. How are you?
Not too bad, mate. I have been enjoying the Olympics, but look, we've really got to get into it this week. You know,
Footy never sleeps, mate.
it never sleeps. As much as the Olympics has been great.
Oh, it has been great, mate.
Oh,
I never thought I'd be watching fencing so much in my life. What's some other niche sports? Some equestrian in the Palace of Versailles.
Yes, yeah.
Don't
Also
mind it.
the skateboarding as well.
Yeah.
Bloody unbelievable that they're all, you know.
Makes me feel really, really worthless seeing like 11-year-olds just
Yeah.
be elite at skateboarding on the
mm.
Olympic scene.
You know what? Who else is elite? Nathan Cleary. And-
Lovely segue, brother.
Oh, mate, look, you're fencing. You'd be nearly bloody wanting to be hit by the bloody fencing pole if you didn't get in Nathan Cleary last week. 112 points, brother.
I'm not sure how much we had to just harp on about it. Just obviously a buy.
Oh, mate, we obviously touched on it a fair bit. He was our number one buy last week. But, man, like, I know obviously like people were probably a bit worried with the break even. Obviously, you know, the break even being 70. But for me, it's just he's a gun.
I didn't see
he got
one
through
argument
last week,
that
80
convinced
minutes.
me. Yeah, I didn't see an argument that convinced me he wasn't a buy. Like I saw Peel go, he's not that great against the Dragons. I don't think that was a rule as if like my Red V were able to contain him consistently or something. I think it's just purely coincidental. And it showed on the weekend. He absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, incredible. Hat
And-
tricks. No, it was special.
Yeah, and he took a lot of time off for that hemi, like the second time. There was
Yeah.
there was definitely less concern about it going like it did the first time.
He could have easily been rested on the weekend as well.
Yeah, he wanted
They
to
had
double.
that game, but they, you know, obviously want that match fitness. So
He could have gotten 140, but you could tell in the second half he was like, all right, we've won. I'm a
Yeah.
bit Siebes.
just
fair
taking
enough.
it easy. Oh, mate, no, I'm not complaining. 112 points. I had him as my captain. Fucking 224 points. Bloody absolutely laughing.
In terms of buys, Door,
He is.
like if you don't have him, use 4 to get him.
Oh, mate, you've
Blow
got
it up.
You've got to
Blow
get
your
him
team
in.
up.
Blow it up. You've got to get him in.
Like there's no other player in the comp that's a consistent captain like Cleary. Maybe Isaah Yeo.
we will touch on
Ooh,
a
yeah.
couple of players that you could obviously drop down to, Mick. Surely, actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's touch on them right now.
Let's go.
Obviously, if you're going to try and blow it up, you need to get in some cheapie options. Obviously, Cleary, 112 points last week. Already said it many times. 41 break even this week. You really need to get him in. Obviously, a great matchup against the Knights on the weekend.
Yep.
Casey McLean and Jack Howarth are your guys. Obviously, McLean got 30 points on the weekend, priced 314K.
Yeah, both got great matchups.
Break even of 4 for him.
Howard's probably entering like a bit more expensive where you sort of
422K for Howarth.
if someone got a red dot who's 230K instead of Howarth to justify, another gun buy, then yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, so maybe someone like Tyrrell May or something you want to downgrade
Yeah,
from him.
that makes sense,
And
just
that
to
frees up
supplement it.
300 odd K.
Yes,
You've got
definitely.
Howarth at edge and centre.
Well, like last week, for example, I got big Farmasili from the Doggies,
Oh, yes.
who was absolutely
Mr.
no
18th
chance.
man.
Yeah, absolutely no chance of playing. Used him as a loop. It was lovely. Like if you're doing that at this time of the season, it makes sense because they're 230K. You'd
100%.
almost rather at times a red dot so you can loop,
Yeah.
but
You don't want too many red dots, though, obviously, in case. I'd say 2's probably max.
who'd we get? Fartape?
Yeah, for Tape.
13
yeah.
points. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Probably not
Jeez.
going to be playing for us unless we get fucked by injuries, but
Yeah.
he'll do.
We still got a few changes, few trades in the bank. Let's not harp on too much, Mick. Let's get straight into it, all right? Fogarty, obviously, has been absolutely exceptional since coming back from injury. 735K, 74 points on the weekend, break even of 48. Look, honestly, I think he is the best partner for Cleary. If you're like really looking to make ranks,
Yeah,
I think
agree.
Cleary and Fogarty are the halves you want to finish the season.
Fogarty just has the fantasy game. Kick meters galore, especially next to Strange. We saw
Goal
what he
kicking.
did earlier in the year And Raiders are looking for a finals push, which is crazy to think about.
Oh, 100%.
Because their lineup isn't great. And
No.
it shows how influential Fogarty is.
They've been great since he's returned.
Yeah, exactly. So I got DCE personally, has a bye this week. He's another one who maybe next week you're looking to get in.
Yeah, with a good run home.
You're right, Dor.
Fogarty, DCE, Cleary, I reckon you want those three.
Like people may be thinking about selling other halves like Galvin, maybe Hughes. I wouldn't suggest that.
No, I think you hold those ones, but it's more just like if you can, you haven't got those guys. I think Fogarty.
Yeah, he'll do a job for you. He'll get you 30 points and kick meters at least.
Yeah, obviously, Mick. Last week we had our buy hold sell was not too bad. It wasn't our best, but it was pretty good. Like you could think about it. Nathan Cleary.
Our standards are pretty high.
Oh,
Probably,
they are.
We'd like to apologise.
Oh, well, the only one we have to apologise about is Max Plath, but he actually decided to run the ball and had a line break.
I said this, I was like, eventually he's going to realise, all right, this team needs more than just service at the moment because we stink.
Yeah.
And he was started to truck it up and made that line break,
So,
which
look,
is
if
lovely.
you didn't sell, he's a hold. Simple as that.
Simple stuff, really.
Isaah Yeo, he was obviously what I was getting onto with that buy, hold, sell last week. He was one of our main options
I've never seen a more obvious buy in my lifetime.
Break even of 56 this week. Obviously got 70 points. Could have been more as well. Obviously dropped the ball over the line.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I said he'll get minimum 80 minutes, which
rested.
It doesn't make sense.
Well rested.
Actually, maybe I was thinking about Golden Point.
Oh, potentially.
But yeah, he's going to play at least 70 minutes or higher. I think he's just a great option. Like he's probably, again, if you don't have him, people are going to start getting him in.
I think I'm going to segue this into. I'm just trying to segue this really nicely and cleanly, Mick. Obviously, Fanua Blake, Mick, someone that I was saying to Cord in the previous podcast for TLT. Obviously, I was very happy that we actually stayed strong with Fanua Blake because there was a period there where he sort of subsided.
Like low 40s and stuff like that.
Yeah, 727K, obviously 67 points on the weekend. God, the guy, he can just score some tries. And 35 break even this week. I just think he's playing some good football because he just can't wait to get to Shark Park.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about it, but then I was concerned like, oh yeah, he's going to Sharkies next year. Maybe if they're
still technically
if they're
in
not
the
a chance to make the 8, then they might lower his minutes for some reason. But I think that logic was flawed. I think he's a great buy as well.
Yeah, obviously the only thing is with Fanua Blake is obviously unlike Yeo is that you've got the Warriors have the bye in the last round.
Yeah, that's definitely something to think about. I know a few leagues. I think ours do our final.
We do the week before.
Yeah, but obviously overall players. That'll be frustrating.
Exactly. And another two players that are in that middle position, Mick, is I just wanted to touch on quickly. Obviously, Payne Haas that we got a couple of weeks ago, and his Broncos teammate Carrigan. Obviously, Haas got 70 points on the weekend, break even of 62, priced at 818K. And you've obviously got Paddy Carrigan, should I say, who's dropped a bit of cash actually, 687K, 62 points in round 21 on the weekend, and a break even of 65. Obviously, two great options, but the only concern is that the buy that they have in round 24. So I reckon these two options you probably wait till after their buy round, and then bring them in for someone like
if you got
someone
good depth,
gets injured or something like that is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I agree. If you got good depth and you know you can cover them when they have the buy, then I get buying it.
Yeah, they're great options. They're going to go
Haas
good
is
the
in
next
the
couple
fantasy
of weeks.
load up screen for a reason.
Yeah,
he's in top 3 goat.
Oh, and the thing is as well is that 2 Queensland derbies back to back. So obviously the Titans this week.
Geez, the Broncos stink.
No. Yeah, look, I went off on them. I said it's my birthday on Saturday. All I want for my birthday is the Broncos to beat the Titans on the weekend. So
yeah, I don't think they're going to grant your wish.
No, I don't think so either. Look, I think our season's done, but
maybe the window's done.
I'm being hopeful. Brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to our halves theme, and obviously a man that we touched on, Mick, a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Himdall, Braydon Trindall.
Yeah.
As we
not your favourite player, Dor?
I don't mind Trindall, but I might when he's with Hines, I have an issue.
Yeah,
he just takes away from Nico too much. But look, I had Himdall last year, and he was special. And
I think without Hines,
he thrives.
very
Obviously,
skillful player. He finds the try line consistently.
yeah,
I think what do we think at his price? Like
551K, break even
is
of
another
14.
mid-ranger where it's like he's obviously scoring great, but
A mid-range
would you rather spend another 200K or 100K on like a
Fogarty or someone like
Yeah,
that. Or it's a bit more expensive, but yeah, it's a good question. Got to be ruthless. I think if I could, I'd be trying to get Fogarty. I'd rather be paying the extra money. Nothing against Trindall himself. I just think
I do
I'd
like the
rather.
Sharks next 2 weeks though.
Yeah, that
Rabbits,
Sharks have got a
Titans.
good draw.
If you bought Trindall over a Fogarty and then you had that 200K and you got someone else, I get it.
Oh, the other thing is as well is he's getting close to keeper scores, or if not keeper scores, priced at that 550K. So yeah, look, I think that there's nothing wrong with getting Trindall this week.
Agreed.
I think the only that's really it for the halves. I think let's move
Jackie
on
Legs?
to Jackie Legs. Yeah, that's it. Dual eligibility.
Yeah, I think Wighton's he's been scoring great. Like we've talked about him maybe a month ago as
Finally
a good
got moved
buy.
to the halves.
Yeah, I don't know why that took so long.
But what do you think, Mick? I got a question for you.
I'd rather Trindall than Wighton.
Yeah, but my other question is, I wouldn't be buying Wighton as a half in fantasy.
Yeah,
I'd be getting him as
That's
a centre.
right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, the other thing is 610K. Like he's quite
He's gotten up there, yeah.
he's quite exy. Break even of 23, obviously 61 on the weekend. My only concern is just the price.
Yeah. 610's like pushing it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my biggest concern with Wighton. I think that the thing is he's been going really well the last few weeks.
It's hard to knock him as a buy when he's just scoring so well.
Yeah.
And he's been scoring well against good teams. As
You know what? Fuck it. I think if you got to get him, you're getting him as a center.
We'll do it
like,
live.
You're just getting him as a center. I'm not getting him as a half. As you said, I'd rather Trindall as a half.
We got Hammer and he stunk.
Well, look, he was good for the first half, and then it got 5 points or whatever in the second half.
If you had him in centers, you're laughing.
Yeah. So Wighton buy as a center,
but not as much as other people.
No, a couple of edges, Mick. Let's move on onto them, brother. Obviously, Hudson Young, he has been absolutely stunning of late. Really getting some attacking stats, and obviously has really flourished since the return of Jamal Fogarty, as we were touching on.
It just feels like a 2-game run where he's just an absolute freak, and then you buy him, and he goes back to your 50s, your 40s, which isn't bad.
83
But is he really getting back to back 92 points, 83?
Yeah. Look, he didn't even score on the weekend.
I'll quickly check what his stats are with Fogarty. I assume they're way better.
Yeah, that's all right. So 758K, obviously 83 points like Mick touched on last weekend, break even of 27. Look, to me, I prefer the man that I'm going to touch on next, just because of
54
his
average with Fogarty,
sheer base. So I think we segue straight to him after Mick saying...
Are you saying Hudson Young, get him in?
No, I'm saying Jacob Preston, get him in.
I agree. I'd rather Preston.
Yeah.
And the doggies they're the real deal.
Yeah, obviously 705K for Preston dropped a bit. Obviously, if you didn't watch this podcast last week, Dor called in and said that his pod of the week was Jacob Preston. And boy, he absolutely shat
Clancy's
on my Broncos.
was RTS, and he went all right.
He went pretty good as well, but not as good
but
as...
now he's on the wing.
Yeah, but not as good as Dor's Jakey Presty. He was fucking special. He absolutely shafted our left and right edge, or whatever edge it was. It was just awful. Both edges were
I need to talk about the
destroyed.
Broncos one more time. Like, me and Cordless, we apologise for all the Broncos hate posts.
But it does well.
But the algorithm just loves it. It's
You
like
don't need
being
to
an
apologise,
NBA
brother.
fan
We've
and
been
posting
awful.
Lakers hate.
We've been awful. We've been awful.
Stink.
Yeah, we've had one good
Not
game.
saying the Dragons are any better.
No.
That's
That's
all
all
right.
right,
How we're
brother.
even near the 8 because we stink.
Dragons to
With
me are
respect.
just really inconsistent. But look, we're getting a bit off topic here. We're trying to nail this podcast
Man, to
down.
talk about fantasy for too long.
Yeah, so Preston, 65 points on the weekend, break even of 45. priced at 705K. I think over the two options, I think I prefer Preston just for the sheer base that he's going to get. Obviously, fish of the week, fish of the year, whatever you want to call him. Jamin Salmon is obviously still out, injured, and
Just
going to
buy
be
him.
out for
Simple
a
as
while.
that, Door. Not much
Yeah.
really to talk about.
No, and then the last option, obviously, Mick, was one you wanted to touch on in Reuben Porter from the Tigers. Obviously, with the departure of Bateman back to the Super League, I don't think he'll be coming back. But obviously, IPAP playing at lock, and then Reuben Porter playing on the edge. Obviously, 44 points on the weekend. Break even of 11, 382K. I probably should have added him in with the likes of McLean and Howarth.
I don't mind him. He's as you said, 382K, which is like not bad, cheaper than Howarth.
Yep.
He's probably going to keep that position.
Yeah, I think so. With obviously,
and he looks pretty good. 44 on the weekend, 11 break even.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking for a cheaper who's going to score well, he's probably going to score better than Case McLean.
Yeah. Yeah,
unless
definitely
the
sheer
Penrith
base.
edges just absolutely cook.
Oh, well, they've got a great buddy matchup this week, Penrith. But yeah, no, I do agree. I think Porter and Howarth have definitely got the better base, but obviously McLean's the cheapest.
McLean will score 3 tries this weekend.
And he plays in a position which is probably the weakest in fantasy, which is the centre position.
Is that about it for the buys?
I think there's only 2 more left, brother. Is this one's going to be quick. I think
Starling.
Don't delete that, brother, because I will need that for the for the podcast. But no, second last one is Kiraz. Obviously, again, was benefited against the Broncos playing outside Preston there. Just unbelievable service, and he was just unreal on the weekend. 72 points, break even of 37. We've had Kiraz basically the whole season.
He's been very good. We were tempted to sell him at times, but he averages 51 on the wing. Yeah. I think he's still a great buy.
He's
the
definitely
dogs are humming.
He's better on the wing.
They got Canberra, St. George, Dolphins, Waz.
So a really good.
And
really
then
good
Manly
finish.
and Cows, which aren't tough opponents by any means. So
no, just a bit better, obviously, slightly if you look at the on the table.
Yeah.
But look,
buy.
Buy. Simple. And the last one is we've touched on him, I think, a couple of times the last few weeks, is if you haven't got Tom Starling, he is going very well.
One thing with Kiraz, you might be tempted to wait a week and get Ponga if you think he's going to go better. I mean, it's Ponga.
Yeah, well, I touched on this.
If you just got to be thinking ahead there. There's no Jackson Hastings in the team.
My concern is
Ponga. He may cook this weekend. No helmet.
Yeah, but my problem is...
Although, is Phoenix Drossland...
I think I've been royally stitched up when I did the last podcast with Ponga's break even, because I said it was 100 and something. It's only 68. So it was saying it was on the website. It was on the NRL fantasy website. It was 100 odd.
Should we move to the holds?
I think so, brother. I think if you need a hooker, Starling's the man.
All right, holds, RTS. He's on the wing. He got you 50. You probably bought him in last week. Hold.
He should go better on the wing than centre.
Probably in terms of edges. I know we talked about Preston. I know we talked about Hudson Young. I still think Gus Bus is the best edge you can get this year.
Even outside
for feeder, obviously.
Yeah.
Nakora, probably hold, just look like an off week.
You also, like you touched on as well, Mick, with Nakora, is that Sharks run coming up the next couple of weeks. So obviously you want to be having him in. Yeah.
Chuck him in your multis.
100%.
Cookie.
No Mamazoulis.
Cookie likey the centers.
Yeah. Cookie poor old.
Benny Horby, as soon as he sees an injury, very unfortunate about AJ.
Yes.
I feel like I see that a bit where you see someone sort of nursing a niggling injury.
Yeah, well, I saw him hobbling, and then, the Achilles went. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate for Johnston, especially.
He's getting close to a lot of records.
Yeah.
Well, he's already passed
Ken Irvine's. I think he's second behind Ken, so hopefully he can get there for his sake.
Hamiso, hold, that second half was a shit show.
Yeah.
I don't know what Wayne Bennett is saying to the Finns at halftime.
They had no ball. The Titans dominated.
Ever since he said, I'm going to the Rabbits, what's their record? 6-8? They've lost 6 out of the last 8?
Yeah, something like that. It hasn't gone good.
Mm.
But in saying that, though, they've been in the games that they have lost. It's not like they've been
lacking a bit of maturity, maybe. Well, they got maturity in their forward pack, but obviously their halves are pretty inexperienced outside of Nico.
Yeah. Galvin, I think I just included because obviously there was a lot of talk that he wasn't going to be fit this weekend, and also the fact that he should probably be a bit more ball dominant, kick dominant than Latu Fainu on the weekend. So I
I'd
think
still
Galvin,
hold it. He got 70 the week before last. So
Reuben Cotter, Mick, surely he's a hold. Obviously, just 1 week. I'm saying he's definitely a hold.
If you've got a decent amount of trades, like obviously misses this week, you never know the week after with head knocks. I mean, I held Alex 12 for 5 fucking weeks. Does he misses around 25? Is it?
Congrats on the debut, the return for Alex Twal as well.
Love your work, mate.
Yeah, he got back into it. Unfortunately, for
Great
Mick's
player
sake.
to watch.
Back to Cotter. Yeah,
well, it doesn't play round 25.
Yeah, so he's got
That's
3
2
more
weeks
rounds.
out of your next 4. If you had enough trades, I'd go straight to Isaah Yeo if you can. I'd think about
I
to
couldn't
an edge
say
player.
no to that.
Maybe a Carrigan as a little pod. Oh, he's not really a pod anymore. He's got a high ownership, but in the top 2,000, not many would have him.
Yeah, no.
Look, I'm of the opinion you can sell
Oh.
if you've got 5 trades left, maybe 6.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I'd only sell him to Yo or like a premium.
He is a great scorer. So.
Yeah, I'd only be selling to a premium player. I wouldn't be selling to anyone else.
Yeah, I wouldn't do a sideways one.
No. Reed Marnie.
I get both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reed Marnie, Dor. I can't believe he has been the best hooker this year. Him and Cookie.
Yeah, well, the reason why he went so poor is because the Broncos were so shit. Like they didn't defend, so they were just attacking all the time. 41
Should we talk about the
points.
Broncos again?
No, not again. We've already had enough Broncos hate.
But I just know the listeners have fucking stopped talking about the Bronx.
On the concussion, obviously, Garrick, look, quite funny one, this one. Not actually funny, but like Reuben said he wasn't concussed. I'm looking at the...
what do you mean?
He came out after the game and said he wasn't concussed. He doesn't know why he got taken off the field.
Was he just like Siebes?
Well, I just looked at the footage and I don't know what Reuben's smoking because I thought he was definitely concussed.
Is this like a massive troll?
No, it's not. They could like Seabold.
And why did you just have like a migraine or something?
I don't know.
Maybe it was a Paul Pierce situation. He needed to do a shit.
Maybe. he just said after the game he wasn't concussed. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll need to read up on that.
Yeah.
Joshy Curran,
obviously
definitely whole. We said to buy him.
Yeah.
It's tough because I think he had the knee
little
injury in the
niggle.
late second half.
Yeah. I don't think it's that much of a concern. Obviously named to play this week. And
Maxi King's not back anytime soon.
No. Definitely hold Curran.
Connor Watson, I'd hold. Like his duel's handy. I don't know what's happened after Origin, but it's just base is a bit down. Roosters have been killing teams, so not the Storm, but
yeah. No, I think
that
he'll
was a
be all
shit show
right.
game.
It'll be all right. I think that is just sort of a bit after Origin.
And then Greg the Leg might even be a buy with Ponga back. Probably not this week, but I'd hold him.
Yeah, the only thing on Greg the Leg, Mick, is I'm worried about is Dylan Lucas.
Good point.
Just his service.
Dylan Lucas.
His service.
Love
He's
him as a player, but he
great
ain't
player.
passing.
If you want Dylan Lucas, you go get Dylan Lucas.
He's got a bit of tunnel vision, which is
I'm
good if
worried
you
about
own him, not if you got someone outside him.
Yeah, I'm just worried a bit about with Mazu, but obviously Ponga.
No Hastings in the team.
No.
So that's something to note.
No blue helmet. Hopefully Ponga, Crossan gives Ponga great early service and Ponga goes ham sandwich.
Yep. That is basically it. The cells just rip through and Ronaldo injured, AJ injured, Fainu not injured, but I think he can be sold at this point, not scoring great.
Yeah, you could definitely downgrade like someone to like a Reuben Porter if you wanted to, or probably like the player I'd be going to is Jack Howarth if I was moving Fainu on, just because he gives you that dual position of edge and center.
Yeah.
So for me, that's who I'd be moving Fainu on, but I'm going to hold him just because I think it's a real luxury trade. He's still playing 80 minutes. He's obviously going to have some average games, but if he's like your 19th or 18th, 19th man, I think it could be quite handy.
Terrell May is the same for me. Just the exact same logic.
Yeah, definitely you could
I thought he would have been scoring better with JWH out of the team, but he slowed down.
I think the biggest...
I'd just like to go to a gun there.
Yeah, I think the biggest sell, the most straightforward sell this week is obviously Wishart.
Munster back.
Obviously, Munster back.
He's done well, Wishart.
Wishart has
One of the
been
great cheapies.
absolutely exceptional this season. Yeah, one of the best cheapies.
That's one of the quickest cash rises I've ever seen.
He was stunning. Obviously, up 417K this season.
All that team didn't get him.
No,
We'd probably be in the top 1,000. Well, we're going pretty well.
we probably could just go straight from Wishart to bloody Yeo if we had him. But yeah, no, Wishart has been a great servant for a lot of teams. But yeah, obviously break even 47 this week. Pretty close, but obviously he's going to lose a fair bit of money if he only plays like 10 minutes and only gets like 10 points.
Yeah,
so
you're exactly right, Dor. McInnes, I have him. I'm thinking about going to Yeo.
Oh, I'd lock it in. It's the minutes.
All it
it's
takes
the minutes.
is 5 to 10 more minutes in a nice gritty game. He'll get you 70 points, but it's just I'm sick of waiting for it. It'll pop up every 5 weeks. He'll go 40s, bang, gets a 70, and it's just like I can't tell.
It's just the last couple of weeks has been like a 50 and then 2 40s, and he's played around 40, 50 minutes.
Yeah, I can see selling, but if it's a bit of a luxury.
I'd be selling in a heartbeat from McInnes straight to Yeo. But obviously, yeah, it is a luxury trade. Definitely one to
something to ponder.
Something to ponder for sure.
Righto. Well,
I think that's it.
We're going through all of them. This might be my last pod for a while, Dor.
Yeah. You enjoy your trip away. All our travels will be back in force. Hopefully, get the all out clubs going around the world, mate.
Yeah, I'm heading off like Henry VIII. Yeah, well, I might call in maybe for like a little pot of the week like you do.
Yeah. Hopefully, you can go as
do
well
a real
as
rogue pod. Adam Elliott. Pot of the week.
Pot of the week. Oh, far out. That's it. That's a rogue one considering what he's just come back from injury. But no,
I actually don't mind it, Dor.
No, I don't mind it either, brother. I don't think it's a horrible option.
Should we wrap it up?
I think so. I think we'll see you all next week for round 23's buy, hold, sell.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, bet on Kelly Olynyk, 20+ points against Australia.
Yes, the Boomers are on. Well, the podcast will be out tomorrow night.
Yeah, well,
so
that could have been the worst take ever.
So hopefully Kelly gets his 20-odd points in not against the Boomers, against someone else.
Yeah,
because they're obviously not going to get on in time.
Yeah. Right.
So, no,
catch
we'll see you next week.